Hey guys, it's Sam, and today we're talking about the best couples that I read about in 2022. So for the last, I don't know, like 5 years or so, I've been doing a whole comprehensive video of my favorite and least favorite couples over the years for the entire year, and I didn't have the strength this year. I think I'm throwing in the towel on that a little bit. I'm still keeping track of the couples I'm reading. Doing an entire video just seemed to me because so many of the couples I've been reading the last handful of years and even last year were just kind of meh. I had a pretty good reading year last year, but I wasn't reading a lot of romance. I wasn't reading a lot of books with romantic subplots. Like, it just wasn't there. The couples just weren't giving like they have like way previously. So I'm doing 2 videos this year in February because it's a couples month. I know it's stereotypical. It's good for content making. So today I'll be talking about my favorite couples that I read about last year. Later on this week I'll be talking about my least favorite couples I read about last year. So for both of these videos, it's not in any particular order. I'm not ranking them. I have 5 couples for each video, and it's just the order in which I read these books throughout the year. So first, for favorite couples of 2022, we have Bara and Veka from The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed. This is one that I kind of knew I was going to like, and I did, because this had all the elements that I really enjoy. So this had enemies to reluctant allies to lovers. And the lines in here were so good, because what I really love is a man, especially, who really worships like a wild woman. Like just a firecracker powerhouse of a woman, right? And he does. Like, there are so many lines. I mean, Ava Reed's writing is amazing, but there's so many lines in here that are like how much he's going to be like damned for her, because there's this like religious component to it. And he like kneels at one point. Like, the imagery and the lines, like, if you have, again, particularly a man saying that like he's going to, you know, damn himself for her and he's drowning and like all that, I love it. I love to see it, okay? I really enjoy that kind of energy, and it was giving that. So start off the year strong with this one. Next is the polyamorous triad in Iron Widow by Siren J. Zhao. This is not technically the only polyamorous dynamic on this list. I was skeptical about this because I was like, I don't know. This is like, polyamory I kind of like as a concept in books, and it's not always handled really well, or it's just like a sprinkle or whatever. This was actually giving everything. There is like a dynamic that I like slightly more just because we see it more on page. So between our main character and one of the people that we're introduced to more so, you see their relationship develop, where the other part of the triad, it's a lot of like pre-page 1, like it's a standing relationship kind of. But as it goes on, and as you have these 2 relationships developing, and then them all loving each other, the way they all complement each other, plus this is really like polyamorous love fueling mechs to take down a system. Amazing. So cute, so sweet. There was a lot of moments that I just like kicked my feet. Like, I just thought it was very adorable. And I'm someone that has never necessarily hated love triangles. Badly written ones, obviously, but any badly written trope is bad, right? But over the years, I tend to like a love triangle because you have all these different dynamics to work with, right? You get to see like different types of relationships. And here, you get that, and everyone's on board, you know? Which is why polyamory in books works so well. Then possibly my favorite, if I had to rank them, for sheer amount of feels it gave me, but I don't know, again, these aren't ranked. Nora and Charlie from Book Lovers. One of the only contemporary romances I read in 2022, and these 2 got me so much because everyone talks about grumpy sunshine relationship pairings, right? These 2 are grumpy, which I think is the superior pairing. So you have 2 people who are very similar, but offset each other in like good enough ways, but are very similar. And you have this whole thing with the main character is that she's the woman that would get left in a Hallmark movie, right? She's the ambitious city girl, and then goes to a small town, meets up with an ambitious city boy, and they are the same. And they understand each other, and he sees her for who she is, and he doesn't want to change her, and he loves her, and they love each other, and they love books. They're so sweet. I love them. I have very few book boyfriends these days, just because, I don't know, I'm like, that's unrealistic, and my brain just can't let it go. But him, I'm like, there's ones like that out there, right? Sweet angel. Honestly, all of Emily Henry's men that she writes are like pretty good. and I think it's really like dangling a carrot. I think realistic, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Are men written by women ever realistic? I don't know. But they feel like they are to me. Next is Ava and Vicar from Chilling Effect by Valerie Valdez. This is a book that I've talked about a lot as being like very similar to Mass Effect for me, and that's why I dug this couple so much. So parts of this book are a little bit messy and not to be taken seriously. However, the relationship in here, if you've played Mass Effect, even if you haven't, I'll explain it to you. But if you've played Mass Effect, this is essentially a Garrus Thane hybrid romance. What that means, to those of you that haven't read it, is you have a very capable female spaceship captain and pilot and things and gets into all kinds of mischief. Then the love interest is an alien, yes, but is part morally gray bad boy, part like assassin-y type character, also heart of gold softy inside. Also loves her so much, adores her, right? It's good, I'm just saying it's good. Something that kills me is that there's like no fan art for this series, which I do want, but then I just default to Mass Effect fan art, which there's plenty of, but these two. And finally, we have all of the couples in the Gilded Wolves series by Rashi Chakshi. In the final book, one of my favorite couples from the first two books, which was Layla and Severin, they're not quite my favorite in the ending because of the way that they wrap up is like kind of so much and so sort of like far-fetched and whatever. But there is a dynamic that is existing and growing throughout like book 2 between Enrique, Zofia, and Hypnos. Enrique and Hypnos have a little thing going on, but it's always like, oh, it's never necessarily serious. Enrique and Sophia end up being a better match, but by the end, there ends up being this like, again, are they sort of polyamorous together? Or are they just like sort of communally living? Like, it's just very loving and beautiful. They're kind of like a little triad, but maybe it's a little bit platonic in the case of Hypnos. Maybe not, because Hypnos and Enrique used to make out. I don't know, but it's very sweet. And like all of them are little neurodivergent babies, and it just is like so great to see how they all like deeply understand each other and meet each other's needs in a way that is so loving and adorable. So yeah, I liked their happy ending. So those are my top 5 couples of 2022. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite couples were that you read about in 2022. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.